We are great creations and great entity. God created us. We are so unaware of who we are and why God created us. Those that understand the creation of God are those using it to profit with her. Nobody should be on this earth without knowing his or her purpose, or without knowing her reason or his reason of being on this earth. Discovering yourself is something that takes a long journey. But for you to discover who you are, you must first of all question a lot of things that are in existence. And secondly, you must be ready to separate yourself from distractions, which are worldly things. Invention, discoveries are being brought into existence by secluding yourself, and by separating yourself. You must study. You must have a quiet moment. You must ask questions that demand answers. The things of this earth you see, everything of this earth that you see today, every development, every technology is being brought about from the human mind, from the human thinking, from the human brain. It comes out from humans. The earth was created by God, and He created the humans and everything living. But today, our daily lives are filled with activities and is filled with creations. Though creations of men are generated from the same creative ability which God has and which He has also kept in man. Don't let anybody deceive you to believe that there is another being, like the great alien or like the alien that comes to this earth to help with creation. Anybody that makes you believe that is distracting you and is not telling you the truth. Every creation of this earth you see today is from the human mind and from the human thinking and from the human reasoning and from the human brain. I went into study, and I've been in study for some time now. And guess what I'm studying? I'm trying to study some few scientists, especially those that created things like electricity, those that talked about gravity, those that talked about nature, natural fields, electromagnetic fields, quantum, those that talk about matrix, those that talk about natural sequence, even in DNAs. And I understand their discoveries came as a result of one, studying from their innermost consciousness. You have to first of all be in your self-consciousness, in your innermost consciousness. Your innermost consciousness is your ability to connect to the spiritual realm, to connect to your spiritual being. Because man is made up of 100% spiritual being and 100% physical being. And for your information, do not be deceived. Man is the highest creation of God as far as the creation of God is concerned. On this earth, man is the highest creation of God that has flesh and blood. Every other creation comes after man. And anybody that tells you there are some alien living in Mars, some living in Jupiter, some living in outer space, some living under the water is a distraction to you. Because yes, there are other entities that exist. So also there are entities like plants, entities like other animals, and most of all, there are entities that are in form of spirits. And when you talk of spirit, I will not dispute you. But when you talk of flesh and blood, physical being outside man being the greatest and the highest, and other animals that exist under man, because when God created humans, He said man should take dominion of every entity, of every living that He has created, whether being plant or whether being animal. The brains of man, the consciousness of man, which is the awakening of man, which is the reasoning of man that leads to technological development on this planet Earth, is not even being touched when it comes to its magnitude and what it can do and what it can explore. I'm going to be giving you an insight into something that man can become in the nearest future. In terms of the development of man, man is going to become lighter to the extent that man can move without even having wings, and it will fly. The force of gravity will lose its hold on man. That is what the scientists try to study by studying anti-gravity. And according to science, nothing has been in place to prove that anti-gravity exists. But beyond science, now drawing from the spirit, anti-gravity exists not to the ordinary man, but to the spiritual man. Let me explain that to you. Have you ever been in your dreams? You see yourself as a physical human being without wings flying? You fly in your dreams. And you know you are not a witch. Sorry to use that language. And that makes you a superhuman, because that your knowledge is being opened to see the superhuman in you. So if you have this super ability to fly in your dreams, you can actually, through your creative power, also bring it to the physical ability. When the Bible tells us about the great awakening, which is being called the rapture in the literal sense, is talking about your ability to fly as man. You can go to outer space, you can travel ahead of time, you can, move without actually moving. You can, fly without actually growing wings. That is a fix that man will accomplish in a time to come. Another thing that man is going to achieve in the time to come is the endless man, the man that will not die, the man that will be on this earth and will live forever. That looks like it will not exist. The scientists are trying by all means to develop this man that will live forever, but it's not in the hands of the scientist. It's in the hands of a man that is going to discover that he or she will not die through not physical or scientific method, but through spiritual method, in which you will not exploit your self-consciousness in the spiritual plane of your living together, because the spiritual part of man will not die. So ability to transform that spiritual part of man that will not die and bring it to this earth is in the nearest future. Not by my ability or anybody's ability, but by the God of creation's ability, because that is a part that he has given to his creation and that will come to light and to limelight and to play.